The scenic Shenandoah Valley in Virginia is known worldwide for its natural beauty. Rolling mountains that are a part of the Blue Ridge Mountains in the broader Appalachian chain. Clean rivers flowing freely. The beautiful Shenandoah National Park nearby, along with the Blue Ridge Parkway. But there are hidden secrets in this valley. Stories that only locals know of and care to share. STM crew member Tyler Hall grew up in this area and showed us some of these secrets. From creepy history to hidden caves, evidence of the Native American presence in this region and more lying secretly in the valley.
We're on the western side of the South Fork of the Shenandoah River, and then this is the Mausoleum mountain range, is what it's technically called.
Yep.
And then it's run by National Forest.
Tyler, man, tell us a little bit about where we're at right now and, kind of the significance of this area.
Yep, so we're in Page County, Virginia, which is located in the Shenandoah Valley, where Shenandoah National Park is, and Luray Caverns. It's kind of some of the big focal points of tourism here. This specific spot that we're at is out by the South Fork of the Shenandoah River. We're on the western part of the river that butts up to the Massanutten mountain range, which is managed and conserved by the National Forest, which being the George Washington National Forest here. This specific place that we're exploring is the Urban Westenberger Property. Urban Westenberger was a German immigrant, and he came to America in the 1930s, pre-World War II, right after World War I and right between World War II. And he came to America to go to school. He's a carpenter by trade, and after school, I don't know exactly what school he went to. I wish I could tell you, but he came to Page Valley and bought this land and built a home for himself, which we'll be exploring. As his time here, his parents had passed away in Germany, so he shipped their bodies over on boat over to America and picked them up, took them to his house, built them a mausoleum. And during the construction of the mausoleum, he kept his parents in his parlor. So that became a cute, big urban legend for, the 20th century kids and teenagers. So they would always try to come up to Urban's property and peer through the windows, see if they couldn't get a sight of his parents' bodies. Urban was like an eccentric guy. He was a well-liked guy. He'd go into town, but he was kind of like a hermit, so he was kind of weird, but he was like said to have been well-liked and like a decent fella, and he had a lot of money. So and there's some connection to the Luray Inn that sat on Main Street as well, that Urban either owned it or he had some kind of affiliation with it, and that was a big prominent place in Page County at the time. So he'd always frequent over there. He also was a winemaker, so he made his own wine right here on this property. He had casks of wine in the cellar and he would sell his wine to locals as well. So he, you know, assimilated pretty well here, even though he was from Germany. And I'm sure a lot of the bad things that was said about him was his German heritage, because this is 1940s, 1950s. So, but for the most part, he assimilated pretty well and was a well-respected individual in the county as an immigrant. So
right on. So when did the, I guess, tragedy, or when did these sort of bad connotations with this area begin?
Yeah, so that dates back to the early settlement of this valley. So you're talking 1700s. This valley was, you know, fairly populated. There were farms and plantations throughout here that had slaves. There was two slaves had killed their owner in this area. So this is Lorelei Estates, like the greater area of like Lorelei Estates and all this property surrounding the Westenberger property. That might not mean anything, but pretty much there was plantations here, and some of the first like weird stories that came out of Page Valley were from the 1700s, and being the John Wesley Bell murder. I mean, you know, we could get into that. Like, is it truly a murder? You know, two slaves killing their piece of crap slave owner who was really mistreated his slaves. That was like well known. But anyway, the John Wesley Bell murder was probably one of the first big stories that came out of the Page Valley area. And basically what happened was this slave named Captain, and I don't know the other name of the slave. There's two of them. They were working. John Wesley Bell had came down. I guess he had mistreated them or something, and one of them hit him upside the head with a hammer or a hatchet or something like that, and killed him on the spot. They were then hung for the murder of John Wesley Bell. Then if you go further into the 1700s and into the 1800s, the Bell family was plagued with some disappearances of children that were in their family. The Kaiser family was plagued with tragedy. They had missing children as well that ended up becoming deceased. There's a pretty prominent story would be the Kaiser daughter. The Kaiser daughter had been missing for 3 or 4 days after a big rain and big flood that came through this area, and her body was found in a tree. And they combed the river for days trying to find her. They thought maybe she had drowned, and locals reported that there was black hair clogged the Shenandoah River at the time when they were searching for this child. And then one local reported that a black hairy arm had come up out of the river, almost like trying to reach for something. So some spooky stuff that
seems like it goes back quite a ways. Huh?
Sure, yeah.
So growing up in the area, you must have heard a lot of these stories. I mean, and kind of wandering, exploring around. What was that like?
So it was all like word of mouth stories. You know, an older friend would pass it down to a younger brother, or you know, whatever it was, and it would make its way through your friend group. You know, in middle school, and that's probably the earliest I had heard about these stories, was probably middle school, and then into high school we would start coming out here when we were able to drive and explore it. And then, like I said, down at Lot 13, we'd come here and party in our later years of high school, and then we'd always end up over on this side of the river, just like ghost hunting. But it was all word of mouth. But there's locals that still live in the Page Valley area that go to Luray High School or go to Page County High School. So they grew up with these stories from their parents, who know a lot more of the history than just someone who heard it verbally or orally. They heard it from their parents, who had grown up in this area their whole lives, and even their grandparents. So 2-3 generations of people that knew Urban Westenberger or knew descendants of the Kaisers or the Bells. So all these stories are factual, or have some kind of fact based to them, and they date back as early as the 1700s.
Wow. And was there one story in particular as a kid or just growing up that really kind of stuck out to you as really creepy, or creeped you out the most out of all of them?
Yeah, probably that black hairy arm story. You know, when they're searching for a missing child, you know, trying to find her alive, hopefully, and you know, the most tragic part about it is, you know, you're probably going to find her dead after a flood. You know, it's like a 10 years or younger child, and then hearing that the river was clogged with hair, and like so many locals reported it, and then that one black hairy arm trying to come out and like grab something out of the river. That's very spooky. I think just in general, to me, this entire area gives off some kind of, you know, spooky vibe to it or some paranormal vibe to it that's always interested me. Maybe not scared me, because I grew up here, so I've been in these woods a lot, and you know, obviously as a kid it did scare me, but I think just the entire area. I mean, we've had, working for the sheriff's office and working for the Shenandoah, you know, worked for the National Park Service and law enforcement, I've heard tragedy come out of this specific area for years and in modern time. So we had, and I don't want to get into names and all that stuff, but there was a child that drowned just down the road from here in a government pond, another drowning in the river, or I'm sorry, 2 twins drowned in the government pond, a child drowned below the government pond in the river. This was all in the last couple years. There was a murder in 1950 on Serenity Ridge, which is in this area, and that was it was 4 homicides by one person. It was a complete family murder. 3 children and a mother got hacked to death, and then the murderer then took his own life with a shotgun. That is a crazy story that we have the Page News and Courier 1915 article from that hanging framed in the sheriff's office right now. So yeah, just a lot of tragedy in this specific area, and I think that's what strikes me the most.
Yeah, so it's like there's not only just the stories that are kind of hinging on urban legend, but there's a lot of actual real world implications and stuff that even law enforcement looks at as kind of,
right,
well, this is an area that has a lot of that.
Yep. And I think it can be disrespectful to just chalk them all up to the unknown in the spiritual world or the paranormal world, but you do also have to question and say, you know, this area has a large history of tragedy and a large history of oppression as well, with the slave plantations in this area. You know, Urban Westenberger was a homosexual man, so you know there's some things into that. You know, was he harassed by the locals? Probably. He was a German descendant, German immigrant. You know, things like that. Just some kind of darker things with just real world, just real world interactions. Social issues. So, you know, if you can make comparisons, I think we should question that, and whether or not some of these tragedies had a spiritual element. You know, I'm not the one to say, and I don't want to be disrespectful to any families, but it's definitely something you have to think about.
Yeah, and I mean, something that I've run into quite a bit is these areas that have a lot of weird places, like the Bridgewater Triangle or the land between the lakes.
Right.
They're areas that have a lot of history, whether it was oppression of the Native Americans or such as in the Bridgewater Triangle, or the case of the LBL with the land seizures there by the government. There's like a deep, tragic undertone to the whole area, and then even to the modern day there's a lot of weird cases of crimes and cult activity and murders, and that could just be the virtue of being a rural area that has just a place where people go and do nefarious things, unfortunately. But it is kind of odd that some of these places seem to be like a hub more than others, at least. So that's something I've always found fascinating, and stuff you're telling me are sort of resonating with me in terms of those other places I've been to. Because you see that overlap a lot.
For sure.
And that could just be completely coincidental, of course. But it is odd that there are some places like that where it seems to be kind of all together. Yeah. You know?
You know, in the Page Valley, in Page County, in Shenandoah Valley area, there's multiple hollers that, you know, are just as rough or just as rugged as where we're at right now. And, you know, you can date some tragedies back into these hollers, but nothing as prominent as this South Page Valley area, and that's why it's a point of interest. Right.
And I think, just as with those other areas, like I was kind of saying, you can be the most ardent skeptic, anything paranormal or anything unusual, completely understand. You can disregard all the weird stuff, throw that out the side, but there still is this element of tragedy that's a real world issue. It affects families, affects people, the communities when things like this happen. So it's just, you kind of run into the recurring theme that the humans are the real monsters with all this sort of stuff, chasing monsters and looking for these sort of legends.
And then it creates something larger too. You know, what are we doing right now? We're out here exploring, making a film on it. So it's like, you know, that those tragedies created what we're doing right now.
Exactly, and it creates a fascination. I mean, whether it's, I've heard it called morbid sort of curiosity, right? Like that's, for whatever reason, we are still interested in that. We're coming to a place that, again, we're near the ruins of this home of this guy who was likely misunderstood and persecuted for a variety of issues at the time.
Right.
But we're still, so many years later, half a century later, just curious and wanting to come out and see what's going on and learn more about the stories. So yeah, that's something I run into a lot, and this is giving me flashbacks of other areas and parts of the LBL and other places too. So I mean, I appreciate you bringing us out here, man.
Of course. We got a lot more to look forward to. We'll go to the Mausoleum here soon, and then this area also has prominent Native American culture and some remnants of those cultures. Just right down the road, there's a Native American burial mound and an old Native American fish trap or dam in the river itself. So
wow, and that's also another theme that again comes up a lot, is these native burial grounds and kind of maybe some of the original oppression that might have happened, right? Because people were pushed out of the area. It happens a lot. So
definitely themes of that.
It's interesting, man. But there you have it. There's the ruins.
So you're getting into some of the foundation of Westenberger's house here. Like there's old like ceramic piping or something, you can, but it's all over the place. We tried to come up here, me and Jim Allen and a couple other guys, and we tried to measure this foundation, but as you can see, it's so overgrown, it's like almost not, we couldn't do anything with it. And then it burned at one point, and then I think, so it burned at one point, and then the National Forest just demolished it. And you could see on this foundation, a lot of it looks like it's just been pushed over. All of this was farmland, and all this is new growth.
No kidding.
Yeah. So you can just see how quick nature takes over.
Yeah, just 50, 60 years, and it's already a forest. So would you say, like in terms of urban legends in this area, is this one of the most prominent ones?
For the county, it's probably the most prominent, especially like when I was growing up in the 2000s and 2010s. This was the spot. Not so much the foundation, but the mausoleum itself was the spot to go, mess around and do kid stuff and ghost hunt,
Did he build this house himself?
Yeah, he built it he had some help. A guy named Schnell, I believe. At least Schnell definitely helped him build the mausoleum, but yeah, Urban he was a carpenter, He built it all, man. Look at all this stone, which he pulled right out of these mountains.
Crazy.
And some of this is concrete.
Sure.
You can see, but like this is all concrete.
That's another thing. I mean, you got some kind of metal, rusty metal behind you, pipes.
Yeah.
All the effort that went into building a place like this, and now it's just completely reclaimed by nature.
That's a shame.
Another thing you run into a lot.
Yeah, it's sad to see that there was no conservation efforts for his home. And I believe it burned before it was ever turned over to National Forest.
Yeah.
But it was still standing. There's photos of it, but they just totally demolished it, got rid of it. It was probably a safety thing for them.
Liability. Yeah, that makes sense. Got this metal here. Look at this. Who knows what that would have been a part of?
I'm gonna go down in there. Oh, that's the door? Yeah. That's the hole you can get into. You don't want to.
All this grew up over this since the last time I was here. You want to hold your camera and I'll pass it to you?
Sure.
It's like he's hitting something.
Watch your head.
Oh! Shirt's cut.
Is that metal? Careful.
There's some gnarly spiders in here.
Oh, really? Something. You good? Probably take your hat off.
Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, I don't think this was like an actual, this is not like a cellar. I think this was like some kind of wall or foundation that then, when this got pushed over, it just created this hole. So, sorry, I didn't mean to blind you. I don't know. But people have found old wine bottles in here and stuff. Maybe not here, but yeah, in this area. This almost looks like it would have been some kind of a flat top, and it just created this little cave. Yeah, because this definitely, you see the way these stones are, they're diagonal, which means I'm sure they would have been standing upright.
Right.
Maybe when they demolished it,
they just pushed it all over. And yes, since there was that like foundation wall or whatever it was, it just got pushed over and created that little. Yeah, that makes sense. And then the power line just goes right to here, man. You see, they maintain it down into there.
Yeah.
So river property.
They don't really do much here. And you got some other old foundation there, whatever that is.
There's that tree, so it's just right up here.
So there's a swing set that he had put up here? Or?
No, I don't think it was his. He didn't have any kids that I know of.
Yeah. Wow. Look at the size of that sycamore, huh?
That thing's gotta be so old. Still alive.
Huge, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, stand next to it. Look at that.
I've got like my wingspan's like 6 foot, so.
Oh yeah.
It's huge.
I mean, it would have been here when this was all farmland, right?
Yeah, man, this would have been sitting here right in the middle of a field. And then what a perfect spot for a swing set.
If only this tree could tell its tales, huh?
Yeah, right.
So there's an old swing set over here. You think that would have been put in afterwards, or?
Yeah, when we were up here with Jim, he kind of concluded that it was probably not Westenberger's. I don't know when he left who the land would have turned over to. I don't know if this was even his land, you know. Right. So it's hard to tell whose it was. And for a single male, maybe he had a swing set. I don't know, but it doesn't look new by any means. But yeah. I mean, I guess it could have been dated into the 40s or 50s. It's hard to tell. I don't know.
Yeah. See the swing set over there, Luca? Yeah, you've got some kind of old metal right there. There it is.
So this is not owned by anyone. This is on the GIS. It just says family cemetery. Someone like maintains it.
Oh, weird, man.
And then there's gravestones outside. Wow, this is all tore up. This is new from when you should just go all the way around, and you could just enter through here. Someone's dog leash.
It's kind of weird. It's a pretty new one too, huh? Why would they leave that?
That's a message.
Why drop it? $1897.
There's one right here.
Some toys here. This was an infant.
Yeah.
Died in 1903.
And then some behind it.
There's a bunch that are just falling in over here. You can see one right there, it's a really small one.
Isn't it a shame?
Yeah, it's a state of disrepair, man.
You'll see some geysers in here.
Very small plot, huh?
That's CSA, Confederate States of America.
So that's a Confederate?
Yep, and then it has the.
So that's not a new one.
Just a new headstone.
Look at that tree.
It's not creepy.
Typical graffiti, as always. Whoa. Going in? Such a shame that people have to vandalize everything. I can probably show some of this.
It's marble.
I have to bleep some of this out. Yeah, why do people gotta do this, man?
I mean, he took so much time and effort to make this for his family,
Look
for
at
his
the
parents.
ceiling.
Yeah, the beams.
Each beam is a tree.
Or old locust beams, or I don't know, cedar.
It's held up remarkably well. There's a new section that looks like maybe they've been just broken open.
So is
Of this watch, you know, right?
Won't be here forever. Looking in the window frames on that.
It'd be I would love to. I'd love for us to try to raise some money to try to get it. You know.
Who goes behind you?
that's the first thing I saw.
Gotta draw a squidward on it.
Yeah, it's a shame. Over the years, people graffitied it. Have you looked down in here yet? Yeah, that's probably.
Was this where the bodies were ripped
Yeah.
out from?
Yeah, this is the tomb here,
Oh, Billy.
and they were in together.
Can't believe somebody would just rip them out like that. And what they just threw the bodies, or what did they do with
So
them?
I was told that they were found in the woods, which the story when I was a kid growing up, you'd always hear that they were found in town, you know, like off the side of the road in town. But Jim was telling me that they found them in the woods here, and the funeral home owner in the corner at the time, he's still alive. It's 3 generations of sons, so Big Dow, you know, Big Dow, and Little Dow, and Big Dow, the middle Dow, Little Dow's dad, he's the one who came and picked up the body. So he's in his early 50s.
Jeez. And how long would they have been deceased when they were ripped out like that?
I'm not sure, man.
Like
Probably
a long
years,
time?
forever.
Yeah, also it was...
Long time. Yeah, I mean, if he came to the county in the 30s, let's say it took him 10, 15 years to build this, which could have been quicker. You know, you're looking 1940 something, 1950. Wow. And then they were found in the 90s, so it's like skeleton remains, I would imagine.
Horrible to imagine how beautiful this is from this angle. I mean, just tell someone put a lot of work into
Oh
this.
yeah, it's gorgeous. And unfortunately, it's like creepy now,
You know,
in a place of darkness. I've never seen
that's
this.
new.
Yeah, whatever this, they
People LARPing as
flipped it in.
Satanists.
But yeah, this inverted cross. This has been here since I was a kid. That spray paint. But this
Somebody
is-
just put it over. Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of. That's something you also notice in these places is that there's just a lot of LARPing people that come in and pretend to be Satanists and do these weird rituals that they probably have no idea what they're even doing. You know,
Exactly.
just for fun.
They're probably young and
Bored kids.
yeah.
So Tyler, you were saying there's been a lot of people that have done kind of paranormal investigations here and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So growing up, you've always heard about people would come here and do paranormal investigations, whether it was amateur or more, professional. There is a guy that I know of who works in the sheriff's office. I won't name names, but he is a pretty avid paranormal investigator. He comes here and does some different investigations, and I would like to get out here eventually and do a night spend a night down here and do some investigations. Bring Heather Mosier, and investigate.
You said the energy feels pretty heavy, like you've actually felt stuff?
Yeah. So since I was little, I believe I have somewhat of a sixth sense to kind of some of this stuff. My mom definitely does. I watched her have experiences my whole life. I think I got a little bit of that from her. And when I'm in places like this, I get this like, this front of my head or prefrontal cortex, what is it called? I don't even know, but right here in the front of my head and in my eyes, I'll get like just kind of like a numb, dizzy kind of feeling right there in this part of my head. So I got it right here, right now. There's not too many places that I do get that feeling, but this is one of them. I've been to other, extremely haunted places, not felt it or have felt it. El Paso, Concordia Cemetery, that place has got a horrible energy to it. This has a bad energy to it. It just almost like a fatigue, like you just can feel it, and then it really wears you down. So
yeah.
bunch of maggots on it.
So you want to do like a feature about this whole story and this whole area?
Yeah.
The bricks coming out the back. The patterns are just amazing. You see that? It's super cool. Yeah. Really put some effort into the design. Making it look nice. I wonder if it was like a German style or something.
I think Jim spoke about that it was.
Yeah, it looks like it. I'd be curious to know what part of Germany he was from. So even in Germany, they all have their own different, like whether it's Prussian or somewhere more towards the southern parts with the Alps. You can't even see it almost. I mean, kind of see it, but if you were looking at it from the right angle, I mean, it just looks like there's just a bunch of trees there, and this could be the roof there. That could just be downed trees. I mean, from here, you really can't even see it's there.
Yeah. You didn't know what you were looking for.
Right. Stumble across that. We're about to launch the drone to try to look for something. You want to describe what that something is?
Yeah, so we're down in Page Valley area again. This is the South Fork of the Shenandoah River. There's a old Native American fish trap, or what we believe to be an old Native American fish trap. And it's basically just a man-made cave, so there's stones and rocks that are stacked on top of each other, making a V. I've been told that a lot of fish traps, native fish traps, are in the shape of a W. This one's actually in the shape of a V, and then it has an opening in the middle where they would have put a net or a basket to catch fish. We're just down the road from Indian Grave, which is a road that cuts up through here where there's some mounds. And then I've been told that there's a place called Lookout where a lot of people try to find Native American artifacts in this area. So it's a prominent Native American cultural area here.
Do you know what tribe it would have been?
So in Virginia, from the Piedmont into the Appalachian region of Virginia would have been Powhatan and Iroquois Indian. And then, once those tribes, they merged into the greater Cherokee Nation later on. So,
but this has to be a really old trap, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I don't know what the date on it would be. Of course you'd have to get a specialist in here, but it's been here since, our guide over there has been here as a kid, so, and then I'm sure it dates back hundreds.
Could be even older than the United States.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
That's pretty wild. So yeah, we're gonna launch the drone up, see if we can see it. So yeah. All right, so you're saying it's over to the right over there? Yeah. Okay. On the river, you can see all the lines in the creek. That's really cool. It's like a little, is that limestone? What would that be? It's kind of cool. Oh yeah, there it is. Sick, right? Look at that V.
Wow,
yeah, look at that. So that's a fish trap, huh? Let's see how close I can get. A bit of a glare, but we get close enough. You can definitely see it. Yeah.
Describe what you're seeing.
It's like a V formation. I mean, it's just kind of, I'm assuming that's the V is where they would get in the fish and swimming upstream, and they kind of just get caught in there, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna turn it around.
Does it look like it's actually damming up, like today?
No, it looks like the water's just flowing right over it,
Yeah.
turning the other way, so maybe the glare won't be as bad. Oh yeah, you can definitely see.
Sure, it was built up more back in the day.
Honestly, like it looks like there's a little bit stiller water. No, maybe it is just flowing right over it, but yeah, you can definitely see. That's amazing that that's just been there that long.
How low can you go?
I mean, I can get right on
And
it.
then like get like a front perspective. That's sick. That's a great shot.
Man, look at that valley. It looks super cool. I'm gonna fly a little bit in here and just get some B-roll of that. The ridge in the background looks awesome. Oh no, that's a big cliff. See that like cliff thing?
Oh yeah. Big boulder field there.
For some reason I'm losing signal. We're gonna go into the water now to go check out that fish trap. Tyler's just swimming right in.
South Fork of the Shenandoah, baby.
We're going in with waders. I'm almost tempted to have gone in swimming, but
I'm really tempted, not gonna lie.
do it. I mean, it's cooling me down. I'm just not going to be wet, which is nice.
That is nice.
What do you think?
I think this is a beautiful day, and we're with beautiful people, and we're out in the Shenandoah
Beautiful
River,
adventure.
and we're just right at a Native American fish trap. I think it's
Crazy. That's
amazing.
pretty wild to think about.
And
So the
getting
trap,
to be able to enjoy it this
you can
in
see.
2024, you know,
Yeah,
that it's still
it's still here.
It's still here. It preserved itself.
It's a little slick over here, just be careful. So the water's pretty clear. So you can see, so I make my way over here. So here, this is all the rocks stacked. Wow, look at this. So I'm now standing on what would have been Native American fish trap. Yeah. Current's pretty strong. Wow, look at this. So it's really simple construction. Just rocks stacked, and that's all it is. Over time, there probably was some shifting, but who knows how long this has been here for. It's amazing. You can definitely see a difference. Water up here, as soon as you get into there, how much darker the water is. This stone is almost like a slab. Gets pretty deep right here. If I was to slip right now, the current would definitely start taking me. There it is. Now it's kind of hard to see. Throw in a drone shot from earlier to help illustrate what this looks like. There you have it. I'm standing right in the tip. You see one side there, goes right there. So that's what we would have seen from the air. Imagine, I mean, this could be from the 1600s, older. I really have no idea how old it is. They're kind of saying it's really cool that to be able to come out here in 2024 and see something like this. Who knows how long it'll still be here for. Current gets pretty strong. The next location we visited was a secret cave that a friend of Tyler's took us to. Very few people seem to know about this cave.
Not sure about those knee pads.
Just a little bit of a drop here.
Oops. Oh,
Bro. I hope my phone isn't broken. It's pretty cool. It's like a little critter, maybe like a little coyote or possum or something, yeah. Those teeth. God, I have a helmet. There's it. Oh yeah, look at that. Bones. Another skull too. Critters getting trapped and dying down here maybe. That's a bummer. What do you got over there, Luke? Anything?
let's check it out.
Alright, I'm gonna hop down here, see if I can get down. It's not too bad. Let's go down here. Wow, I can already start seeing the formations. That's where the cave-in happens, so we can't get past that point, but it seems like a lot of animals have come in here and gotten trapped and died. Hey Tyler, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear. Everything's good up top.
Yeah, it looks like there's a collapse. We can't get any further than just the one room here.
Oh, damn, okay.
We'll definitely have you come down here and check it out too. So there's a bunch of animal bones. It's kind of neat. You gonna try?
I'm just looking. Just curious.
How does it look?
Gets tighter down there. This part's fine, but down there it gets a bit tighter.
Well, go in there and just check it out.
Let's see if I can get a little bit.
Yeah, I'm curious. You want to take the handy cam? Well, false alarm. Apparently, we haven't reached the cave-in. There's another way over there. We just missed it, so we're gonna go check that out.
Dude, that's awesome. That is crazy.
Oh, clay, man. It's so different from that cave in Tennessee. That's super cool. Bottle down here. What is that? Oh my god, look at that. Alright, this is not something you really want to find in a cave. Got a baby doll arm. That's a little weird. Not gonna lie. Hey, we found a baby doll arm down here. Baby doll arm.
Baby doll arm.
Some kind of weird ritual, who knows? Somebody drew an arrow this way. Oh, there's some cool stuff over here. It's like cool looking formations. Yeah, we'll get Tyler to come down here.
Dude.
Welcome in, Tyler. This is sick. Cool, just knowing what's right under the earth here.
Yeah.
Kind of adds to the lore of the place almost.
Sure does,
huh?
right?
Going down that way.
And there's a lot of caves in this valley.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Well, you know, especially you got like stuff like Luray Caverns being kind of like the main touristy thing.
This probably, in a way, probably connects in some chamber or something
Crazy.
into the caves because we're not too far from it.
All right, you want to go down?
Yeah.
Like I said, watch your head here because you're tall. So
Yeah. Let me pocket my keys, actually.
I gotta turn my light on a little bit. That looks bad on camera. So yeah, you can see the little rope here. That's the little surveyor rope. He said the last time he was in here was 2011, man.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Luke, you good down there?
Yep.
Just wait till you get in here. This is where the real stuff begins.
Wow, dude, look at this.
Well, look at this root. Look at this root system here.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that wild?
Wow.
This is where the real stuff begins.
What do you think, Luca? Did you see this hole here?
This is so rad.
Oh yeah. This is where like the cave, kind of the main stuff is.
Oh, dude. And it really opens up down here, don't it? Was that you stepping on that?
Yeah, I stepped on this boulder.
Wow.
So this is where, check this out.
Oh, you can stand up over there.
What do you think, Tyler? I mean, this is right under basically the area you grew up in, huh?
Yeah, this is my backyard or my underground.
Yeah.
It's amazing to, you know, you go your whole life not knowing that this stuff's right underneath you.
Yeah.
And then you come see it for the first time. Now, of course, we have, you know, Luray Caverns, big tourist cave. It's a massive cave. So, you know, I've been down in that or whatever. But when you find places like this that not many people know about, that's where the
Super
fun
cool.
happens, man. This is sweet.
Have you ever heard any weird stories in the valley here about caves?
Yeah, man. There's a Native American ghost story about. It's through, they say Luray Caverns, but there was a native girl that apparently her bones were found in the cave system and that she haunts the caverns.
Oh, that's creepy. Well, we found plenty of bones in here. Just animals probably got trapped.
But that would have been at the discovery of the cave. They found remains, human remains. And I think that is like historically accurate.
That's amazing.
So.
Super cool. Check that
You
out.
found a baby doll arm? Are we all
Oh yeah, right here, right here. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
How creepy is that, man? I mean, somebody that came in here was up to some weird stuff. Look at that.
What is this, a
I
bone?
think that's just a stalactite
stalactite,
that fell, yeah. But look at that.
That's so scary.
Missing the fingers. There's like another passage here that I want to see what that's about. I mean, it's still, you could still walk right here. It's just slick.
There's a cave. I don't know if it's this one or not, but there's like a creek that flows through it, and then there's
Oh, that just ends
water
here.
chamber. And he said one of his buddies went underneath it, and you have to swim and
That's
then come out
sketcy,
into another
man.
chamber. Yeah,
That's sketchy.
yeah. Water back there.
Dude, look at this settee. I know, it's crazy. Want to go a little further?
What a big chamber for, you know, just one of these like caves you don't
Wouldn't
know
expect
about.
it,
Yeah,
right?
it's also easy to just kind of like scoot.
He said it just narrows down over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down in there. Oh yeah, dude, he keeps going. Check it out. Down to the left. There's a gnarly formation down here to the left. Oh man, come here, look at this. I'm coming. Wow. Oh, that's sick. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. Oh, there's a beer bottle. Yeah. Wow. That's wild.
Dude, it keeps going, huh?
Goes further down in there too.
Wild. So much clay.
Yeah.
See that? You can see boot prints. Somebody that's been in here.
Sweet.
Crazy stuff, huh? Wow. Well, this just added a whole new element to this video. I love it. I did not expect this.
God, these little stalactites, man. So sick. I mean, there's a passage through there. You know that's tight back in there. But,
Oh yeah. Be a good crawl.
but you could really get down in there. I just don't want to risk it.
No, yeah. How easy it is to destroy this, or not destroy it, but leave a mark. Look at that.
Yeah. That's all moisture.
Oh my god, dude.
That's how they form, huh?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like the
Yeah.
top of my helmet's probably just covered in
It's
it.
so soft.
There's arrows pointing this way. There's a lot of arrows pointing this way.
Arrows.
Yeah, like the carbide arrows like we've been seeing. I'm just gonna There's still an arrow pointing down here. Whew. And then from here it becomes a squeeze from here.
Good, dude?
Yeah,
What's it look like?
it's a squeeze. It keeps going though.
Worth checking out? You didn't bring walkie, right?
No, it's by the orange bag.
I don't want to get pushed out. Obviously, we don't know what's down here. Just tell them we're getting ready to come back up. Oh, you can't see through it. Some of them you can like.
Yeah, because they're thin.
Let me turn my light off.
Some beautiful formations in here, man.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, it looks kind of.
Oh yeah, check that out. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not bright enough.
But look at dude, that white one.
Which one?
That one right behind that big one.
Oh yeah. Well, that was a cool little side adventure, guys, huh?
Absolutely. That was badass, dude.
We're heading back out now.
So sick.
Gets tighter and tighter, but look at these formations, man.
I got you.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank God for the helmet. See you later, cave. All right, perfect timing. There are likely plenty of other secrets in the Shenandoah Valley to explore. Someday we shall return to uncover more of what has rarely been seen and is all but forgotten in the modern age. It can be fascinating to see how remnants of the past create our modern urban legends and curiosities, trying to piece together what past tragedies might have looked like, or why they happened, or what previous civilizations lived like and how they operated. And of course, a glimpse into the dark realm found beneath us in the subterranean. Sometimes it's the simple act of exploration and discovery that can make you feel alive.